tell us ways you have implemented strategic marketing in the past that made apartment syndication investments profitable for investors at the end of the day, that says that, okay, we took this particular deal, we syndicated it, we marketed it. This was the marketing plan we specifically used. And this was the profitability at the end of the day, the implementation.
Yeah. And so I'll give you the example that we used last fall. So this property, we still have the property, we haven't sold it. But what we were seeing is a little bit of slower leases. And so our occupancy was starting to go in the direction that we don't want it to see. So we immediately started looking at a few things. The very first thing you'll start to look at is, okay, how much traffic are we getting to the property? How much are we getting to our website? So all of those touch points, you get all of that data and you start to compare it to historical data and see, okay, what has changed, right? That's your very first layer. If you're getting a lot of traffic, but then you're not seeing the conversion, then it's a different problem, right? So this was to really just understand, what was the problem? Was it a conversion problem because we're getting the traffic and then maybe we need to switch the way that we close somebody? But what we were finding is we were just not getting as much traffic. And then the next thing is you'll compare it to your comps in the area and then the market to see, okay, what's going on? Is everybody else slow? So then is it a you problem or is it a market problem? And you really have to ask all these questions to really understand what to do. And what we found is that some people were getting the traffic and some people weren't. And then we also looked at apartments.com, our PPC campaign, and again, compared those results with what we're seeing with the market data. It was performing well. We increased it a little bit. And you only want to do certain changes. You don't want to do everything at once because then you don't know what variable worked, and you want to be very frugal with how you spend your money, right? So try one thing, see if it's moving in the right direction, then maybe you don't need to do the second approach. First one wasn't working. Okay, maybe pare that back and now try number two. So that was one thing that we did. We looked at our robust campaigns, maybe increased our budget here and there. The other thing that we did was we actually did do a special, and some people in the market were doing just a little bit. And we said, you know what? We just want to capture everybody and not give them an opportunity to consider another property. Now, this is, what we call that war, right? The pricing war. You don't want everybody in the market doing that. But sometimes you have to, right? And you have to look at the long run and say, okay, if I don't get these beds filled, what's that going to cost me? And is it better to give $100 off, right? Or $200 or however much you need it to, but now you're going to save so much money on your vacancy. So we kind of looked at that and calculated that and really just projected it out to see, okay, what does that look like? So as you can see, a lot of it is whatever our decisions are made off of, we make them off of data. And what we did find the result for that was that we started this early, and for the last probably 4 or 5 months, every other comp in that area has a special except for us. And so to me, it shows that we fixed a lot of the things early on. And I think the rest of the market is kind of playing catch up, but we're able to just maintain it. The other thing that we did is we put extra signage out. So this is kind of getting into the grassroots marketing. Our property manager is amazing. She would start to go to all the local businesses a little bit more, hand out flyers, hand out things, do cross marketing. So there's a Wawa, which has really great foot traffic. So she just said, hey, can we put this here and we'll promote you guys at our property and vice versa. And she's done a lot of that, heavy reach out to all the corporate areas with building that relationship. And so we also said, okay, let's up our social media game. Let's make sure that we have the virtual tours set up on our websites, make sure that basically our leasing would be open almost 24/7, right? Because we have the lockbox where anybody can go tour. You give your ID and they can go tour a unit. So we wanted to make sure that we were catching every single possible person and not turning them away because maybe the leasing office isn't open on Sunday. And we just went full fire and thought about everything that we could think of under the sun. And I have to tell you, it really turned everything around like pretty quickly. Like you can start to see it going in the opposite direction. And now, it's just being maintained. And then also, Google reviews, all that stuff matters. We make sure we always respond. We make sure we ask when anybody on site, the staff has a positive experience, they ask for a positive review. And so just really thinking through all the touch points for a prospect and a current resident goes a long way.